Welcome to the Real Agents of Change, where we celebrate and raise up and just really acknowledge and admire and love on the real agents of change that are out in the world in all corners of the world wanting to be a contribution. And when I first started this whole group, it was about real estate agents, it was about nonprofits. But I've come to realize there are agents of change in all types of businesses who just want to make a difference, want to do good things. And Lesley is one of those people I met in another group full of spiritual, open-minded go-getters. And now that she's taken our certification class just as an audit to see exactly what we're doing, we wanted to interview her so that she can bring her own twist to how this whole thing plays out. Lesley, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, hi, I'm Lesley. I'm based in Scotland, so I'm not even in the States. And I work with entrepreneurs and wannabe entrepreneurs now for like the last 25 years, both on a one-to-one basis, but also more formally in the education system. And I see so many people who really want to make a difference in the world, and that's their motivation and driver. And I guess when I first came across Cami and you, Cami, and what you were doing, that was the bit where I went, I don't know how this all hooks up. I can't see how to unwind the scrambled knitting wool, but somewhere in here, what you're doing has to enable so many people. I guess I've also seen increasingly people try and create social enterprises. So they're not in it for the profit, but they need to somehow make enough money that things are viable, that viability at that almost the bottom end of the pyramid is so key.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up about the profit, because one of the things we talk about is leveraging charitable real estate is a way to actually double profitability, the ability to create profit, doubling profitability. Because at the end of the day, the best, several mentors I've heard over the years, Les Brown being one of them, says the best way to help poor people is to not be one. And when you're in business, you got to be able to make money too. So that's why our motto is make money, making a difference. The people that are attracted to us already know how to make money. They already know how to make a difference. We help them bring it together. So having sat in on the certification class for a good half a day, what are some of your insights? What are some of the things that you took away from the class that maybe you didn't know before and you feel like our viewers should know about charitable real estate?
That actually, as long as you've got the right experts working alongside you, it doesn't have to be difficult. And that was one of the things you really introduced me to in the class, Cami, that expertise, not only is the expertise out there, but the expertise that comes from a space of generosity is out there. I was completely blown away with the extent to which the organizations you're working with make it easy for all parties. Because I mentioned something about what you were doing to a really good friend in America who she absolutely wears herself out raising money for 2 or 3 local charities. She's got to be one of the biggest hearted human beings I've ever met. And yet I think I'd mentioned real estate to her, and I got this whole cloud came down of, we did it once, it was a complete nightmare. And I can see that when you're trying to figure your way out through a system. But I would have had no idea that expertise and that generosity existed anywhere before I did your seminar.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. And it is true, nonprofits have had a tough time with accepting charitable gifts of real estate or any kind of non-cash asset. And there are horror stories of properties that were contaminated or people that didn't know what they were doing. But the fact is, the way that we do it here, the Real Agents of Change and our partners, Realty Gift Fund and all the boys over there, the nonprofits are so far removed that, what I just say it like this, they don't even need to know the address. Like, I don't know how much further you could be from a gift of real estate than not even knowing where it is in the world, much less getting tangled up with it and having, title issues and all that sort of thing. So we really want all the nonprofit people that that hear this, that you share this with, or even the real estate agents. The way that we explain it is there's this triangle of trust, if you will. One side is the property donor. You got to have a donation to have a donation of real estate. There is the real estate agent, because once the property's donated, nobody wants to hold it and manage it and move into it. We need to liquidate it. It's kind of like playing hot potato. So once we get it, we list it with a realtor to get rid of it. And then there is the nonprofit, because with no nonprofit, there is no donation of real estate. So it's this beautiful triangle of people, but the nonprofit in this case is not the end nonprofit that gets the proceeds. It's our nonprofit that gives the property donor the tax benefits that they're looking for, relinquishes all other nonprofits of any legality or issue or hassle or any of that kind of stuff. We take it on, we get rid of it, and we give your friends the cash. So I'm so honored that you took the time. You are a real agent of change just by committing those hours that day to learn how this works, so that you can bring it to those that I can't bring it to. That's the way I see it is, only 5% of people are going to understand me, but then you have huge tribes of people that we can reach because of your brilliance in the world too. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything you say, Cami, and right from the very first time we talked about this, I could see that it was about creating value at all steps. And it's that fundamental thing about a win-win-win. The win for the different parties might be different, but it's still a win-win when you come together and collaborate. And you articulate that brilliantly.
Well, thank you. And sometimes I've heard it said, I did some interviews yesterday. I've heard it said that it sounds so good that what's wrong with it? If it's too good, there must be something wrong with it. When's the other shoe going to drop? But it is what it is. It is great for all parties. Does the 501c3 that we're talking about, that I'm partnered with, do they get paid? Yeah. They're a nonprofit. They need to get donations as well. But the beauty of it is they take the smallest donation. I did a lot of interviewing in the last year. When I first heard about this a year ago, I went on the hunt to find just the right third party for me to partner with. And I spoke to about half a dozen. They're out there, but a lot of different personalities and a lot of different intention. To your point, you've noticed that our people are all about the philanthropy. Some people are all in it to rape and pillage and take advantage of the system. And that wasn't our intention. So for our guys to take literally less than 7%, sometimes 3% of the proceeds, not the list price. Real estate agent gets 6% of the list price. Our guys get a percentage of the proceeds, and it's so small. And 95% of several $100,000 is way better than going out and selling a raffle ticket for $20.
Oh, totally. Absolutely, totally. You don't need to convince me on that one, Cami. I've tried occasionally to sell raffle tickets for friends, and it's not my favorite occupation by a long way.
Oh, the reason why I really saw this as the blessing that it is because after 15 years in real estate, top 5%, prospecting, door knocking, begging, objection handling, negotiating, fighting for my commission, all that stuff that real estate agents do. And then all the fundraising and the bringing for-profit together with nonprofit and the car shows and the golf tournaments and the galas. When I saw charitable real estate, I said, oh, that's why I did all that. That's why I spent the last 15, 20 years doing all that, so I would see this now.
Yeah. And even the galas once attended where one didn't want to go, but one does it because it's the right thing. So it's not even the selling the ticket. It's the so many people putting themselves through so much discomfort because it's the only way they know how to help. And I love the fact that you're doing something where it doesn't have to be uncomfortable and one can help. I mean, that's just amazing. It's sort of fundamental. First you see it one way and you turn it the other way upside down and you go, hey, it's a completely different picture.
Hmm. You know, I interviewed one of our agents of change yesterday who loves the fundraising. Like, she lives for the planning and for the finding the venue and putting, like, she's a real people person. And I was sharing with her, you know what, if you love doing fundraisers, awesome. All you need to do is at the bottom of that flyer or on your website or on your social media, hey, here's where the golf tournament is and here's how you can buy raffle tickets. And oh, by the way, we benefit from charitable gifts of real estate. Just put it on there. Just let people know, because the fact is, there are people calling and emailing nonprofits every day wanting to donate property, and the nonprofits are saying no. So when the nonprofits that we play with, that are the visionary real agents of change themselves, when they just let people know, they will get gifts because those people want to donate. So Lesley, what would you like to share with our viewers about why you feel like you're a real agent of change and why they need to know about this?
They need to know about it because it can be easy. And I think in a world where you've got lots of uncertainty and, you know, people want to make a difference, but maybe they go through good times, bad times themselves, and they feel like they can only do it themselves. They can only do it by dipping into their own pocket. What you've done is you've opened up a completely different avenue where somebody can do good by having conversations and by sharing information. And that's all you need to do. Simple. It's the simplicity that's brilliant.
It truly is. And I look forward to have you play with us with our 30-day challenge, because there will be some fun little things during that 30 days that even Lesley can use to get out and meet some really just the right mindset people for you, because you are highly evolved as a coach and a mentor, and the people that you're looking for need to be highly evolved or ready to be there. Speak to us a little bit about who are your people? Who are you here to serve? I know you said entrepreneur, but give us a little bit more.
Right, it's mostly for people who they've got their own business, but they would still technically describe themselves as a small, medium-sized enterprise, which is actually more about they're a private enterprise. So they've created a business, they're running a business, they're running it where they can really have an attention on their customers as being the people who they create value for. They haven't yet gone public. They don't have to worry about shareholders and all that. They're not a corporate. And I guess there's two reasons I absolutely love working in that marketplace. One is, as I said, so often there is an ambition that's about creating value in the world for some way. Solving a problem worth solving, creating something worth creating, saving something worth saving. But it's absolute focus on the value, and they have enough autonomy to create their own culture, their own way of doing things. So you can really help them. It's very different sometimes working in the corporate world. So I guess it's the satisfaction of enabling people who've got a dream and a vision to be able to do that more easily and effectively. And that's kind of what I do as a business coach, mentor, personal coach, mentor. The thing that's different about me is I work with both sides of that for the top team and for the owner.
Well, I know that as a real agent of change in our group, you will meet broker owners, you will meet people who run nonprofits, you will meet mortgage companies, insurance, title, attorneys, just all kinds of people that would fit your niche. And I look forward to being a bit of a conduit to bridging the gap between you and they, so that we are all just doing so much more big stuff in the world because we found each other and because we all have that make money, gotta make money, gotta pay the bills, gotta pay the rents, gotta make money and make a difference. But making money, making a difference is just like, there is nothing else that is so satisfying as knowing that every day what you're doing is the ticket. That's one of the things I've been saying for many years is don't talk about what you do. Yeah, you're a realtor. Yeah, you're a coach. Yeah, you sell mortgages. But when you can start a conversation talking about what you're doing in the world, the old adage, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. That's why years, even before I found Charitable Real Estate, I was teaching big companies to show up at these events or putting these events together or at the networking or on the call, showing up as what they're doing in the world, because then people care what they do.
Absolutely. And I find that when I work with people, it's them giving them the clarity and the simplicity so they can go and achieve what it is they really want to achieve. That's magic. And it's fun to do as well.
Well, I know for myself, having worked with you in the last few months, you helped me get clear on my mission statement, which is, that we help to double the profitability for seasoned real estate professionals when making money and making a difference is the objective. And when you can get really clear on your mission statement, a lot of the garbage and junk gets out of the way. When you are clear on who you are and what you're here to do, other people can be clear on what you're here to do. So here at the end of our interview, here's the trick question to help us to really get to know Lesley just a little bit more. Lesley, tell us something about yourself that has nothing to do with what you do for work or where you're from.
That's a good one, and that was a trick question. I wasn't expecting that one to come. Well, I love travel, and a lot of people would say that. But when I look at my circle of friends, it's funny. Most of them come from either mixed cultures or other cultures, basically not from where necessarily from people round about me where I grew up, or even Brits. And I place some of that on the fact that although I didn't really know it growing up, my dad came from a mixed culture. He was half Russian, and I think it's infiltrated more than I would have ever have realized. So yes, I seem to be a bit of a Heinz 57 varieties with friends that come into that category, and my world is so much the richer for it.
I totally agree. That's why I'm getting my RV so that I can travel the country, because all the people that I interact with, I do on Zoom. So I might as well get in an RV and just travel around and go visit with them a week here and a week there. I've got the travel bug as well. Lesley, you are a blessing to the planet. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a real agent of change. And for those of you watching, if you feel like you're a real agent of change, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you are a leader of a community, or if you're one of those businesses or institutions that serves and supports any of those folks, reach out to us. Let us know that you want to be a part of this mission and this movement. You see, the fact is, $8 billion with a B, $billion was donated via real estate donations to nonprofits last year alone. And now that we are sharing the good word, now that I'm Johnny Appleseed spreading the good word, a lot more people will be knowing about it. And our goal is to have $1 billion of real estate donated to nonprofits worldwide by 2025. Yes, that's right. We can help nonprofits worldwide. You got to stay tuned and come get in the circle to understand how that part works. But we look forward to seeing you in the Real Agents of Change. Bye, everybody.